Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel, and I have your March forecast for Twin Flames and those awakening souls in the collective. I am, again, Kimberly. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm a soul coach, intuitive advisor. I work specifically with Twin Flames and those who are waking up, wanting to heal and raise in their consciousness no matter what path or journey you're on. Yeah, I am so excited to give you this reading because I just channeled the forecast, the written forecast, and that's going to go out on an email tomorrow. So I will probably post this today, and this is basically your forecast from March 1st, which is Friday, all the way through the end of the month. And then if you guys are just getting familiar with me, I always come back and do like weekly energy reports. I do new moon forecasts, full moon forecasts, and so you can look out for that as well. But this will just be a general overview over overarching themes for the month, what we need to look out for, challenges, what's exciting up ahead, and all of that. Okay, so I'll be pulling the spread as I talk to you for a moment. Some reminders for the month is on March 7th, I have a Goddess Essence workshop. So basically we're going to be studying all of the sacred feminine archetypes, goddesses from mythology. We're going to be talking about how you channel your divine feminine power through these goddess archetypes and into your daily life, and how you harness that power. And this could also be pertinent for the masculine out there who are looking to, understand like the divine feminine archetype and like harness their own divine feminine within. So that's happening March 7th. You can sign up, use early 10 as a coupon code to register now and save $10 on the registration. And then, you guys, there's only a few days left to register for the intensive program in April. The reason why I'm having you register early is because it will fill up, and also because I want you to pay in 2 installments. That way it's affordable for you. So that'll give you a little time to space it out before the program starts. So if you've been thinking about it, give it another look. It's still up there. There's still a few spots left, and I'd love to have you join us for that. So it's 4 weeks, me, your personal coach, you healing, integrating, doing everything from A to Z to bring you into this really aligned and surrendered state, ready to forge forward on your mission. Okay, so those are the 2 big ones that I wanted to mention to you. If anyone does want to work in private session, readings, twin flame guidance, I look into the Akashic records, anything that you are curious about in your connection or need guidance on within yourself to help clear the path for you, I can assist you with that. Okay, so check out everything on spiritualmaterialgirl.com, and don't forget to click subscribe if you want to keep watching the videos, if this message resonates for you. Okay, I'm pulling from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I'm pulling for the divine feminine, divine masculine, and this is what I'm calling like an old school spread, because I feel like these cards are, I don't know, these are just great cards. This is no lie, no fooling type messages. Very straight to the point, and yeah, so it's cool because I always use about 4 decks in each spread, and when I say this is like old school, this is probably like what I used to use when I first started. Rider-Waite, traditional tarot. I love The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and I love the Ascended Masters deck, and I'm using the Sonia Choquette, which is the Ask Your Guides for our guidance from our guides. We will pull, during the reading, we'll pull some clarifiers from my friend Christina Georgieva. This is lilwanderer.com. You can buy this little deck there. It's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see a few more. Get some clarification. So I'm pulling from masculine and feminine in the collective. Again, you may resonate with one or both messages, because we all have divine feminine, masculine within, and certain parts of ourself are always, further along or progressing more on the journey, and at certain times you might feel you resonate with the masculine message more or the feminine message more. So don't pigeonhole yourself, and if something resonates, it resonates, right? But you can sort of look at this for masculine and feminine energies. And yeah, so let's look in and see what's ahead for us. I do want to say that somewhere in here I saw the flexible card. When I was shuffling, I don't know if you guys saw me, but like the cards kind of jumped out and then I put them back together. And that word, I'm going to mention it again because it didn't come up in our reading, but that word did make its way into my extended forecast, so I'm going to talk about it. I will get to that, okay? All right. So for the feminine, I feel like this month is where this month, let's just talk overview for this month. This month we are going to be focused on emerging. So emerging in what way? Emerging in every way. But it's not going to like all happen at once, but I feel like that first step in like out of the hermiting, I feel like there's a cycle of hermiting for especially for twin flames that's ending, and it's actually ending this month. That's what they've been showing me. So if you have been one of those who have been hermiting, and I would say that I would fall into that category. I would say over the past even several years that I have been hermiting in a sense, you know, and so if you have been hermiting, if you have been protecting yourself, sheltering yourself, doing your work, going within so that you can heal and purge and process and integrate, good for you. Kudos for you. But many of you are empaths. So when we come out of this, you know, safe, protective place, this alone space, this, you know, we might be craving more. And I think a lot of you in the collective are craving more. You're starting to crave more. You're starting to crave being social. You're starting to crave, you know, new friends. You're starting to crave, like, you know, connecting with your soul tribe. You're starting to crave just like being out there or traveling, or, you know, maybe you're thinking about expanding your horizons, or all of this is going to be on the forefront this month. So when we are going from that hermiting phase or cycle into emergence, we have to remember to be gentle with ourselves, because that outside world, all that energy is going to feel very abrasive to us. Now, I'm not saying that you all have been recluses, and neither have I, but I think that when you pull back your energy to do the inner work, or, you know, when you stop kind of putting yourself out there so much, and then all of a sudden you start to again, that can be very abrasive for us. So make sure that you have a positive experience with the putting yourself out there. So my advice would be take baby steps. Go little by little. With each positive experience, you'll feel better about it. Give yourself time to rest in between. Set up a sanctuary in your home so that when you put yourself out there, you have a nice sanctuary to come home to, or when you travel, you're able to come home and regroup. That's really important, especially for empaths, because guess what? If you just start throwing yourself out there, and like whether it's you're putting your projects out there, or your work out there, or yourself out there, or whether it's just like doing new things, or you know, venturing out of your comfort zone, traveling, whatever it is that you're doing, big or small, you can definitely feel drained if you're not used to that level of energy, especially in the connecting with others, in the you know, in the collective. So but you can definitely, I feel like, call in those who are in alignment for you at this time. And we have this Piscean energy coming in right around the early March timeframe. So we've got a Pisces new moon on March 6th. And this is going to be sort of, let's say, a little bit contradicted by the Mercury retrograde. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So the Pisces new moon is going to put us in a very dreamy state, very romanticizing what we want, fantasizing about what we want, right? We can even be a little bit impractical. We might even be a little bit over emotional. But the thing about this is, while you're dreaming and all of that, like, be careful about asking for that and communicating that clearly, because during a Mercury retrograde, we may not be communicating in the clearest way possible. We may not be asking even in the clearest way possible. We may not be, if we go to put things out or take action on something, we may not be in our best light to put it out there or articulating in our best way. So be careful of that. Make sure that whatever you're dreaming of, as you take steps to bring it into the physical, because that's what this month is about, that you are articulating clearly, that you're going slow, right? We're not rushing. this isn't like big, huge action steps this month. I feel like it's just like following our impulses, taking baby steps, but we're stepping out. There's definitely a theme around stepping out. You're stepping out of your homes. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're stepping out of the routine that you've been in. You're stepping out of the hermiting cycle. You're stepping out. And in the stepping out, what I've been saying for a very long time is that this month is going to start to be, because we have a 3-month period here, which I've been feeling, at least. I don't know if anyone else is saying this, but I've been feeling it for a long time. March through May is going to be very serendipitous. So here we have it, bottom of the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, Serendipity, but it's in reverse. So we're going to talk about that in a moment. So what it's saying is that the universe is going to rise up and meet you. It's going to rise up and meet you if you allow it. All the things that you've been dreaming of, all the things that you've been working on, the things behind the scenes, the projects, the mission, the dreaming of what you want to invite into your new life, into your new world. The glimmers of this are going to start to crystallize. That means we're going to have chance meetings, chance opportunities, doors swinging open, connection with people, expansion, opportunities for expansion. And this is just going to be like little rainbows shooting in for us this month. And like I said, we might be emotional at the outstart of the month, but it's also going to be a dreamy time. Then we have to watch communication, right? And then we have this serendipitous, like, you know, this is what I feel like is almost like a portal, okay? That's what they've been showing it to me. It's like, it's a portal. You have the opportunity to anchor in your 5D timelines. Is it all going to crystallize this month? No. Is it probably going to crystallize by June? Yeah. So that's how fast things are happening. That's how much timelines are speeding up. So the important thing for you to remember is go slow, right? When you take action, take inspired action, but you do need to take some action this month. You do. It's not, you cannot just rest on your laurels and say, oh, well, I put all that work in, you know, everything I've been dreaming of, I've been thinking about it, and, you know, I've been, you know, working on those projects. And they're saying, keep massaging your projects, keep doing that. Now start to put stuff out there. Maybe you're putting things out in a new way. Maybe you're communicating in a new way. Maybe you're starting to show yourself for the first time, like your projects, what you've been working on. Maybe you're starting to show that for the first time. Maybe it's just that you're craving. I've been hearing a lot, you know, like from my clients, like I've just been craving to be more social. I've just been craving to have more fun. I just want to have more fun. Well, then do that, but baby steps. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't wait for things to come to you. Don't just do nothing, because in doing the baby steps, that's what tells the universe. It's like sending a big signal to the universe, like, hey, come and meet me. Send me that great new friend. Send me that divine partner. Send me that gatekeeper who I couldn't get through the door that now is standing in front of me holding the key for that opportunity. Send me that, because, you know, that's how it's going to happen. Now, with Mercury retrograde, I have to say there's going to be delays. We are going to feel it very much this time. Mostly delays, mostly that this round. In the past, sometimes we have a lot of mechanical snafus, a lot of this, a lot of that. This time, I feel like it's delays. And these are much more momentary delays, what I'm seeing. So this is like where... Oh my God, it's weird because I feel overwhelmed telling you, but the way they showed it to me when I was writing it is like, say you're going on your trip, right? And you're at the airport and all of a sudden all the screens go delay, right? Like there's some crazy weather coming through, it's delayed, you're all bummed, you know, you're just frustrated or whatever. You're so frustrated that you don't even look up. You're just mad, you're sitting in your seat, you're waiting for the next flight and you don't look up. Okay, now, let's play that scenario out a different way. You're at the airport. All the screens flash delay. You're like, okay, Kimberly told me, Mercury retrograde. We need to flow with it. I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm not going to buck the system. I'm not going to, you know, do the push-pull with the energy. I'm not going to resist. I'm just going to go with it. This is happening for a reason. I'm going to keep my head up and just flow. I'm here for a reason. Guess what? You sit down next to the person that is your life partner. You sit down next to the person that's the gatekeeper holding the key for that opportunity that you've been wanting. You sit down next to this new friend that you just have a tremendous, like rapport with right off the bat. Those are the things that are going to be happening this month. So the big warning with this serendipity is you cannot rest on your laurels. You need to go out and you need to do things. You need to be out there and do things for the world to meet you. But you must flow with this Mercury retrograde. You must flow with it. Do not resist it. Do not get frustrated. Just flow with any delays or anything that doesn't go your way or any challenges that you have. Because in those challenges, I'm being shown that like lots of chance meetings and like really cool things actually coming out of that. So you might be in the mess of it, in the muck of it, and then go, oh my God, you'll never guess what happened. Like the coolest thing, or I met the coolest person. That's going to be happening for many in the collective. So write that out. And if that gives you a perspective on the month about, taking things in stride, taking it with a grain of salt, that would be probably a good thing to do. As we segue towards the end of the month, we're going to be heading up on we're going to be, like I said, inching up, I should say, on a full moon in Libra. And that is going to be all about us striking the balance between the 5D and the 3D, really getting our balance in place in terms of, okay, I've been hermiting. Now I'm out in the world. Okay, now I've been thinking about my 5D, dreams and all that. Now I'm like in the world. Like, how do I reconcile it? How do I do it? Like, by the end of the month, we're going to start finding this balance. We're going to start practicing this. We're going to start getting good at it. So as we go into April, we're going to be in a flow, okay? And we can use that Aries energy, that fire energy to catapult, okay? So let's look at the feminine now for the collective. So feminine, you have the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is just saying like, this is, I feel like the abundance. Oh, I have goosebumps. The abundance coming through connection. So this is much less about being laser focused on how much money you need to make and that, you want this material thing or that material thing, or you want to take, you need to make more money, or you need to invite in more clients. They're saying like just through the art of connecting. If you lead with the intention of connecting with others, serving the collective and connecting. And that could just be like sharing wisdom. It could be sharing your inspiration. It could be sharing your vulnerability. It could be going out and meeting with others in a class setting or just being social. It's just, they're saying connecting with other high vibe individuals and creating community, connecting with your community, creating community. This is going to be a big piece of you seeing the rewards, the actual like money and clients and abundance and health and wellness and everything that you want to see flow into your life is going to come as a product of you leading with the intention of connection, the intention of creating community. We are creating community right now. We are. It's like at the forefront. So I don't know if you guys know, or all of you might know, that I have an online community called Vibe Up. It's vibup.com. So it's vibes. it's like this, vibup.com. And so you can go there and join, and you'll get a whole slew of online courses. And those courses are amazing for your ascension. But in addition to that, you get the opportunity to connect with other high vibe individuals on weekly calls. There's a forum where you can share and exchange and connect with others in the tribe. I'm holding a retreat in September if anyone's interested, and we're going to be glamping. We're going to be going to a really great natural spot in the Northeast, and we're going to be gathering with our tribe and having like a fall equinox ceremonial weekend along with classes and workshops, and it's going to be amazing. So anyhow, check that out. But if it's not Vibe Up, there's tons of other online communities. There's tons of other communities that you can join locally, and I do really feel like this is you practicing for the feminine. It's practicing your emergence. It's saying like, I want to meet, I've heard many of you say, I want to meet new friends. I want to have that fun back in my life. I haven't been having fun, or, I haven't been, like you're feeling disconnected. So they're saying like, It's you leading with this new self. It's you leading with a more high vibrational self. It's you leading with a more whole self. All this work that you've done behind the scenes is going to attract in the right people for the connection. Oh, I'm sorry. Something just took over my computer. Aliens. Okay. Okay, so it's going to have you attract in the right people for the connections that are going to be with you along this journey. Like, I feel like these are high vibe connections, community, new friends that are going to be with you now through this next phase. Like, whereas we've let some of our old friends go, like, this is the time to make new friends, new connections. And this also feels like it's going to open you up to a whole new world. Like, where, I guess I'll just keep giving you examples. Like, so for example, you may have like been working in a certain career path and not know where to go next. Like, this feels like for the feminine, if you lead it with confidence and you go and connect in the world, and maybe you network or you go to events or something, you're going to meet someone who might introduce you to a whole new world, like a whole new career, or they might make introductions for you. It's very serendipitous. So trust in that. Also, you know, what you're working on, they're saying that like, it has the ability to come to fruition, and it's going to come to fruition. Everything that you've been wanting can come in, you know, exactly the way you have desired. Don't doubt that the manifestation and the abundance is on its way. Remember, I said we're starting at 1 this year, and literally that was when we were like starting to transform into our new lives and make that transition. But it's been like this still that we've been doing work to actually get into the new life. And now I feel like we are merging into it. And this is like saying, like, by the end of this year, everything that you desire can come to you. Everything. Some of you I have been in sessions with, and you're like, I'm too old to have a baby, or I'm too, you know, I wasted all this time with this, you know, karmic, or, you know, I've been waiting for my twin flame and I don't want to wait any, like whatever that is, take those constraints off. That's all just fear. Recognize where your fear comes from, right? And if you need tools for that, you can come into my intensive program, or you can work with me one-on-one, because I'll help you work through those layers of fear that are holding you back. The truth is I'm seeing for many, marriage, babies, like all sorts of things, like even coming as soon as, you know, by the end of the year 2020. So, like the things that you thought were impossible are not impossible. And the part of this reason, like the reason for this is just, it's about you harnessing your divine feminine energy. Now we're seeing the yin energy in reverse. But I feel like this is because this is your sort of test at this time. It's like, how can you walk forth in that confidence, in that poise, in that newfound wholeness, with knowing what's important for you? Many of you have new priority lists, right? Many of you have a new priority list. This has come up a lot with my clients, where I'm seeing with them, you know, through their cards and their readings and everything, but I'm just seeing like, that there's a reshuffling of priorities. And as you do that, and you put yourself first, and self-love and self-care, and you put your mission and that things that matter, those that you love, and all of that first for you, then life can respond to you in an amazing way. But you have to trust in that. You do. And there's a certain confidence that I feel like is going to bring this about. And so if you feel like you're still feeling insecure, or you're feeling like you're not in that goddess energy, or you haven't harnessed that divine feminine power, take the workshop with me, come seek out coaching. I can help you do that. Underneath this for the feminine is balance. Don't you love it? And this is the divine teachers that are showing us balance. And we might get some lessons in that this month. Like I said, things going wrong, snafus, miscommunication, delays, and we're also trying to balance between hermiting and emergence. We're trying to balance our 5D into the 3D. There's a lot that we're working on, but I feel like this is very hopeful, because come month end, when we come into that full moon in Libra, you're going to be able to let go of anything that's kept you imbalanced and step into a more balanced energy. And I really feel like it's very positive for the feminine. So big word though for feminine is confidence. Where they're saying, okay, so questions you can ask yourself is, where am I not stepping you know, taking a forward stride or stepping forth in confidence. That means in trust and confidence in myself, believing in myself. Where are doubts consuming me? Where are my fears or insecurities stopping me or holding me back? It's important to come into contact with those questions right now and answer those for yourself so that you know what to work on, okay? All right, so for the masculine, we are seeing the 9 of Cups. Wow. So this is really interesting because underneath it, I'll show you, is the deprivation card. So this I feel like a masculine is treating himself. He is saying, I am going to be now putting myself first. I am going to be not taking any more shit from anyone. I am not going to put up with the stuff that I put up with. My happiness is paramount. And I feel like in a way, he is letting go ways in which he has deprived himself, limited thinking around the work front, around what he has to do in life versus what he wants to do. And this new mentality of, I'm first, I'm important, I get to say what matters, and that's going to change all the energy for him in a big, big way. So that means he can stop depriving himself. And this means that I think what we're looking at for the masculine is many of the masculine moving out of the lack or scarcity thinking templates. And this is saying, I have everything that I need. The emotional fulfillment is within me. And in that, he can attract abundance, right? But he doesn't have to any longer act out of, you know, depriving himself from anything. It feels like as he comes in contact with his true self, he's learning what is really important to him. And he's able to fill his cup, put himself first, but not in a selfish way, in a way that he's saying, I know what matters too. What matters to me is this. He may say, you know, F that job or F that, you know, karmic partner because that didn't work for me. Now I'm seeing that my happiness, my emotional fulfillment is paramount. And through that, everything else comes, right? And now as he's feeling this vibration of, you know, it's creating more freedom within him. And that freedom is, you know, pushing him out of these templates, which is pretty huge because I think in these templates he was taught, you do what you're supposed to. Your happiness doesn't necessarily come first, right? And he's saying, no, now I'm learning my happiness is my freedom. Everything else will come. But if I live my life like saving and depriving and like restricting myself, or if just doing what everyone else tells me I should do or what society thinks I should do and not putting my happiness and my passions and what's important to me first, then I will be continuously depriving myself, both, you know, in a monetary sense and in the way he's living his life day to day, but also in an emotional sense, depriving himself from the happiness. So above this is the question why from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And so for the masculine, they're saying, why am I, why have I been holding myself back? Why have I not been allowing myself to feel the fulfillment that I am entitled to? That is my birthright. And see this sun here in the background, I don't know if I guess it's a sunrise or this feels like the light coming behind him. And I've been talking about this light a lot with the masculine because I feel that. I feel like a sun rising over him, a new sunrise. You know, I feel that. I've been feeling it for a while. You guys saw that like probably 3 or 4 readings back where I was holding up cards where there was like the horizon and I said the masculine's looking out at a new beginning. But this is coming over him. And I think masculine, if you're watching this and you want to ask yourself some important questions, ask yourself like, why really have you kept yourself away from what's truly important to you? And how can you take steps to work towards aligning with those things that truly matter? You may also be asking, why have things worked out the way that they did, but like, you know, over the past few months? But I would say that masculine, the important thing to remember is that everything is in divine order. Okay, and the angels, the archangels want you to know everything is in divine order. And it's important that you understand or take responsibility for your role in the way things have played out. So if you're asking like why, and you're putting responsibility on others or on you know, outside circumstances or other people or your twin flame, ask yourself, why within me have things gone this way? And if I was focused on just fulfilling myself and happiness and what I truly want and love and abundance and making myself feel happy from the inside out, how would that change like maybe how things have gone or how you would redirect things now? Because you're in control of your future. And now it's not so much about why the past, but they're saying like this is you in the driver's seat of your destiny here. So you get to decide what you want to do moving forward. So I guess this has an undertone of thinking about the past a little bit, right? And asking like why. But I also think it has an undertone of like the masculine sort of wanting to place blame or look outside of himself for the answers. And I have to remind you, come inside, because the more you do that, the more you're going to find what really matters to you. And if you could take responsibility for how you have held yourself back from it, how you have stood in your own way through your own cycles or whatever, it's self-sabotage, or if it's just, you know, whatever that's been, addictive cycles, codependency, self-sabotage, limited thinking, whatever it is, like take responsibility for it so you can make those changes to, you know, step into that fulfillment. Okay. So for the combined energy, we have the 10 of Wands. And I love this because I feel like the burden is being released. I don't feel like we are taking on burden. I feel like we're at the end of this cycle. We're about to say this is too much for us to bear, right? Like whatever it is that you're still carrying, like for the feminine, like I said, the fear, the insecurity, the doubt. For the masculine, like the past, you know, the taking, you know, for feminine, sometimes we overburden ourselves. We take on too much, right? But I feel like for both the feminine and masculine, what the transition is into confidence, into fulfillment, into self-love, and for the feminine, putting connection as paramount. For the masculine, putting his own needs and what really matters as paramount, which I feel like up until now hasn't been. For the masculine, it's been more egoic needs. So and what they're showing me above this is the Ace of Cups. So there's our new beginning, and there's the fulfillment. And this is for the combined energies for the twins. So if we look at this in terms of the burden of the relationship, right? So I feel like as the feminine comes into her confidence and the masculine gets happy within himself, and, you know, we start building this new path, this new life, not just thinking about it, not just stepping into it, but like really building it now. Like then abundance is going to come, and like this feeling of heaviness in your connections is going to just dissolve. Okay. And then underneath this, we have the Empress, which, ooh, that gave me goosebumps. So the Empress is just reminding us like, hello, this is about getting harnessed in the divine feminine energy. This is about the masculine harnessing its energy. Again, what do I want? What do I love? What do I need? My passions, myself, my, you know, like I'm going to trust. I'm going to not, you know, succumb to what society tells me to do. And I feel like the masculine is getting rooted in this energy as well. So this Empress energy is quite important at this time. And I knew it would be. That's why I slated the Goddess Workshop for this month. I knew I was supposed to do that. And they were telling me, and now we're getting the confirmation of that, which I just love. So let's look at the advice cards from the Ascended Masters deck. Sorry, it's this is the deck, the Doreen Virtue. So we have focus on your strengths, feminine, and trust. So this is exactly what we were talking about, remember? So it's like confidence, leading with your new self, focusing on what are your strengths, not shedding this insecurity, trusting it's all working out, trusting, finding the balance. This just, again, reconfirms what we have already said. important. I think a lot of times we focus on what we don't have, or what, you know, what everyone else has, or what we don't have, or we compare ourselves to others. And they're saying, like, all you have to do is shift your focus into your own strengths and be grateful for that, and know that whatever you're seeing in others, you are admiring, because it is a piece of yourself that is unclaimed. And you have the opportunity to claim those pieces of yourself and to step into the essence, right? That's like my workshop, the Goddess Essence, because we're stepping into the essence of who we admire, what we admire in these really strong feminine archetypes, right? So focus on your strengths. Be grateful. Focus on you. Know that if you are admiring, instead of feeling this, oh, I'm not good enough, or I could never do that, or that's going to be a long time till I get there, or feeling jealous or feeling competitive, instead of feeling that, feel grateful. And so, you know what? Say, I'm recognizing that other person has something that I'm admiring, because that's something that I can work on claiming for me. That is a strength of mine. I just haven't tried it on yet. Okay? So that's important. Now, for the masculine, we have balance, career, and home life, and right. And so, this I feel like is communication that's coming through for the twins, that the masculine is going to initiate. And I feel like he's doing that over written word. So it's going to be emails, texts. You're going to probably receive communication, as I had been talking about last reading, from the masculine in this time. And I do believe it's going to be written, like text or email, letter, something like that for many of you. And it will be good for masculine, because he's going to be able to set the tone in a new way now, especially those of you who are in separation. This, lining up behind the scenes with himself and knowing what's important, he's going to have a softer approach when he reaches out, and you're going to sense something has shifted. And this balance, career and life at home, or home life, is Isis energy, which is one who is all. And again, you know, masculine's working on this. He's working on, you know, how do I, you know, do what makes me happy, and make time, like, and be a grounded person in this world, and make time for, like, family and the people that I love. Because I feel like his divine feminine is really glimmering through for him. He's feeling the pull to her. I feel like that's part of what's important for him. And he's saying, like, how can I do that and still follow my happiness? And the question he has is, how can the question, see this question mark back here? It's not just like, why have things played out? But now, as he owns responsibility, he's saying, now as I move forward, like, how can I make this all work, where I'm in my, you know, in my happiness, in my truth, following what's important to me, but then, like, not depriving myself. And how do I, like, create the abundance and find that balance of, and, like, masculine, you just really need to trust, because as you follow your own bliss, it's going to come, and it's going to show you that you don't have to sacrifice one piece of your life or another in order to have everything all at once. Okay. And this could also be like those of you who are, for the masculine, like, thinking about taking a hobby or something that you're passionate about and turning it into a career or some aspect of mission. I feel like you are needing to just really sit tight, work on nurturing that, work on trusting it. As you transition from passion to career, you'll know when it's time to let go of your current career, and you'll know when it's time to make, like, the hobby or the passion the full-time thing. And it's going to take a bit of balance in between that, right? Because you're going to have to balance a bit home and family and obligations and the current life and what you want to create for the new life. And but you can do it. Many of you, I feel, many divine masculines starting their own businesses this year, or building upon businesses that they've already started. Okay, so, like, this is your year, I feel like, to break off and be on your own, be autonomous, the freedom that you want. And it's not going to come at the sacrifice of having to sacrifice your love life or your home life, okay, or your kids or anything. There's this lack thinking. I feel it coming in, and it's like, But if I do that, if I pursue my passion, like, how am I going to support my family? Or like, oh my God, if I'm going to get married, I need to have everything all set. And they're just saying, no, it doesn't have to be like that. That's just what society told you. And it's important to understand that abundance is coming to you like tenfold as you follow your bliss. And you won't even have to worry about this aspect. Okay? So trust is huge. Bottom of the tarot deck is the Queen of Wands in reverse. So when we see the Queen of Wands upright, she looks like this. So let's look at her in reverse. So Queen of Wands in reverse is kind of saying to us, it's really talking to us about our strength, okay? And this is, I feel like, just a reminder about all the strength is within you, okay? All the strength is within you. And whatever resources you need, you can invite in for whatever it is you're wanting to create, okay? So you saw the Serendipity card, and we talked about that. We talked about that at the beginning. Ascended Masters deck is see the other person's point of view. And see the other person's point of view is definitely in the connection, okay? So I feel like communication is going to open for many twin flames during this month or into April and May. There's going to be a more honest communication. We see masculine stepping forth. I also feel like this is about like seeing the other person's point of view, that it's not just a one-way street. And this is for the masculine too. Masculine, you've been asking why have things played out this way? Well, because you have played a role in it. You are needing to take responsibility. So, you're needing to see the other person's point of view in order to take that responsibility. And the same thing, feminine. There's like this, where this burden, it feels like, is dropping in the connection. So, in order to do that, we must see the other person's point of view. We must see the full scope. We must try to be less reactive and more soft and gentle in our feminine energies, where we're ready to receive and listen. Listening is going to be key for this month. Okay? Especially since communication is going to be a little bit strained with Mercury retrograde, and things could be miscommunicated, or there could be like delays in responses. So don't jump the gun. Don't get reactive. Just see where the other person's coming from. Whenever we have check-ins with our twin flames, remember, they are check-ins. Unless you're ready to fully step into union right at this moment, which I don't feel like many in the collective are, but you're gearing up to be, many of you. So you're going to start by having a check-in. And so when you have a check-in, you check in to see where you're at in your healing and where the other person is at in their healing. Not to judge them, not to tell them what they need to do, not to judge yourself, not to be hard on yourself. But it is truly a look in the sacred mirror. It's like shows you where things are at. It's like a temperature reading, right? So make sure that as you get that look or you get that glimpse, you see it as that. And I think that'll help alleviate this expectations and hurt feelings and reactions and all of that. If you just see it as, okay, what does this mean for me? Like, what can I see about my own healing in this mirror now? Wow, he's really come a long way. Wow, I've really come a long way. What does this mean? I don't need to figure that out. All we need to see is that we're both at a different level, right? Or you might see other things. You might see pieces in yourself that you still need to work on because, you know, you're still being triggered or things are still bothering you. And that's things for you to work on behind the scenes. So work on them. Because the more you do that, those check-ins become so valuable because they show you what you need to do so that you can come apart and then finally, alas, come back together and stay together in harmony. Okay? Some of you, as I've been talking about, will be meeting your divine partners, and you may have had like a particular person in mind thinking it was your twin. This is not for everybody, so don't freak out, but like many of you know who your twin flame is. But some of you are on this path aware of this phenomena and, you know, doing your ascension work to gear up and get ready for your twin, and may have had some sort of like a catalyst or soulmate or someone in there who has been preparing you for that. That you've had a contract with to prepare you for that. And so be open. Be open if you meet someone new and they take you by surprise, or be open, okay? Let's just pull a few of Christina Georgieva's little wander cards here, and we'll get some clarity. We'll pull just for feminine and masculine, just one card each, and just see what the messages are, okay? This reading's going a little bit long, so we'll wrap it up after this. Feminine, independence. Okay, so we have independence for the feminine. We'll talk about that more in a moment. And for the masculine, love. Love it. All right, so this is independence. This is her, you know, in the confidence, going out in the world. I feel like it's like this newfound independence. It's this self-reliance. It's like, okay, I'm doing it. Oh my God, I'm on my own 2 feet. I'm not dependent on anything. I've cut all those cords. I've released all those ties. I'm feeling good. I am good. Now what? She's going to say, now what? We'll just keep going, keep surfing, right? Like when you get up on the board, I used this analogy to someone recently and they were like, oh my God, that's so perfect. But it's like when you get up on the board, don't look down and don't start to think, oh my God, I'm up. Because as soon as you do that, what's going to happen? You're going to fall. So while you're riding the wave and you've got this, you know, newfound confidence or independence going, just keep riding it. Trying to find your balance is the most important aspect that you're going to be working on. But be proud of yourself, okay? Give yourself a pat on the back and recognize what you have released to get to this point, to be in this place where you are independent. And independence means so many things. It means freedom. It means self-reliance. It means releasing the attachments and releasing the codependency. And I think feminine, many of you have done a beautiful job at this. And some of you are still very much working on this, but keep working on it, okay? Because it's going to open the path or forge the path for you to move forward, okay? And also, I must say, this is not independence, I don't need anyone, okay? This is not independence, I don't need anyone, closed heart chakra, I could do it all on my own, girl power. No, 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 no. Hopefully you guys are dissolving all of that, because truly, this is not about girl power, you know, ego or false masculine or pushing people away. I can do it all on my own. That is the false masculine template that we've worked so hard to come out of and to come into the truth of this yin energy, right? So make sure that this independence is an expression of your truth, is an expression of your trust, is an expression of you in alignment with your divine feminine power and not in a false masculine sense, right? Because that's also going to open up the twin flame communication and connection too. As you become self-reliant and unattached and surrendered, it's different than being walls up, afraid, you know, pushing away, resistant. That's different. That energy, pushing away, resistant, keeps your twin flame away. When you're just good within your own way and you're happy with yourself and you're moving forward, that is what's going to attract the twin to us. And this does not surprise me that the love came up for the love card came up for the masculine, because we see this emotional fulfillment here. We see him focusing on it. We see him also, this is alluding to universal unconditional love, source energy, source love. And I feel like he's feeling that in a new way, in a new level. We see the red in his cap. And it's like that's coming through for him, through the crown, like source energy up here. It's coming through. There's some knowing, there's some feeling of like there's something bigger. I'm destined for more. I believe in myself. But I feel like also in a romantic sense, he is thinking about love, especially through this watery Pisces energy. He's thinking about love. He's wanting to be romantic. He's wanting to be with his beloved. He is thinking about it. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. I love you guys. Thanks for joining. I'll see you for the, I'll be back for like the new moon forecast in the first week of March reading. I will see you then. Okay. Mwah. Bye.